Good morning. This is Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we're about to look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of self. Understanding that whatever state these energies are in, we're going to see reflected back in the world around us. So if we want to glean things about people from real life, we can do that. But really, all that we're seeing in others is just a reflection of what's inside of ourselves. So if we're seeking change, we need to change ourselves, right? I am feeling this really like nervous kind of energy today. Not for doing lives, I do this every day, but it's like just a general energy that's coming. Like I was walking into the kitchen with my breakfast and spilled it, and like I don't know, it's just like a weird energy. So I'm going to be working with that, feeling like this kind of jitteriness, and it's not for my cold brew because I haven't even got close to finishing it yet. So, alrighty. Let us go. We're going to start with Divine Feminine because she has the most cards visible when I did the shuffle today. And she's doing some overthinking. So, and I see somebody back in the same position she was in for a while. So, interesting energy. Let's go into this and see what's up. We have top of the deck, overall headspace for Divine Feminine today. Patience. We've got the Three of Wands. It's upright. She's being patient. She realizes that the pieces are falling into place one after the other, and that the actions that she needs to do will be revealed to her by the divine, and she will just take one step after the other. So she's feeling patient because of that. This feeling of not knowing what's happening, it's just not bothering her as much anymore. She's really trusting, like, I don't know what is the what, but the divine knows what is the what. And so I'm kind of comfortable. I know that my ships are going to come in at this point. It's not got as much of a helplessness as the Two of Wands, where you're just sort of like, I did everything I can do. There's really nothing else I can do now. And I just have to wait and see, if what I want is going to happen. It's really believing that the pieces are falling into place and that the actions you need to take are going to be revealed to you. So that's the top of the deck, forefront of her mind. It's a good state of mind to be in. And the niggling thing in the back of her mind is this Four of Cups energy. So she's experiencing that pause energy that we kept seeing coming up in the Oracle cards for the last couple of days. And we're seeing it again, but it's really part of this process of being patient. In her patience, she's connecting to nature, she's getting grounded, she's meditating, she's centering, she's connecting, and she's maintaining this cup of self-love, which she's, getting from the divine. Also with that Three of Wands energy, it's like filling your cup from the well, like trusting in the divine and letting that make you feel all filled up and ready to go. So she's doing really well in that energy. And that's a good thing to have in the back of your mind. Just stay grounded, stay focused on what it is that you desire, etc. And be really reflective, like meditate and contemplate kind of energy. Oh, look, there now I can see. Lovely. All right, first card up. First thought in her mind. King of Pentacles. He's in reverse. He's in reverse because he's not here yet. He's looking good, though. He's a pretty good looking divine masculine. He's dressed to the nines. He's got everything he needs in place. I think she senses that divine masculine is putting himself together. He's getting dressed up. He's getting ready. He's not showing his cards too early. He kept a lot of his cards not revealed today, but he's got something under his sleeve too. This like fixing of his cufflinks thing. I'm really drawn to, like, he's got something up his sleeve, like that he's going to bring to her, and she senses that. And this also might just be a little bit about her own self too, in terms of feeling like she's not quite where she needs to be in her Pentacles energy yet. And she's not wanting to rely on the divine masculine to provide for her. She's wanting to shift into her own King of Pentacles energy and provide and protect herself. But definitely that patience card, that Three of Wands, knowing the pieces are falling into place. I really do think this is her like feeling that divine masculine, like getting prepared to finally come in and bring this union. So she's excited about that. And the reason why I think that it's about him coming in and he's getting ready and getting himself all together is because the next thing up is the Tower. And so she's sensing that when this divine masculine does arrive, this is going to be a very massive shift for her, like a really incredibly massive shift. So she's really looking forward to that. And she's also understanding that it's going to be very uncomfortable for them. They've never been in union in this way. And and a lot of change is coming, and it's going to be things she's not used to. And, things they're both going to have to adjust to. They've spent a long time in the fantasy world, right? That Four of Cups energy, dreaming, escaping, just being in their head and in their dream space. And it's not been something that has been in reality. So this is really going to shake things up and cause a lot of changes. But it's the rebuilding of this tower. What has gone before is crumbling, and they're going to be rebuilding this connection. Next thing up is the Two of Swords, and it's in reverse. So she's feeling like she has made her choice and that she doesn't have a whole lot of other options right now. She's really surrendered to this union with divine masculine inside of self. And the other reason why we see that King of Pentacles in reverse is because, remember, she's been working very hard on releasing her attachment to a specific masculine, which ironically allows you to bring that specific masculine in, but not be attached to it. So this masculine energy that we're looking at being part of herself and then reflected back to her, literally any divine masculine could come and reflect this back to her. She really does want a specific one, but she has worked to release this attachment, because when we see the King of Pentacles, that's usually indicating a specific 3D manifestation, a man of the world, someone who is in the world. So while she has done the work to release that, she feels that he's still an option and kind of her only option, like just really the one she has always desired. She's made her choice about who that is. Here's the clarifying card for the King of Pentacles in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the deck. That's her choice, right? Her choice is to wait. Her choice is to wait for this divine masculine to shift into his full King of Pentacles energy, to bring her that offer that the Knight of Pentacles has, which is solid and, really significant offer, but she's got to wait for it. She's on that divine timeline. She's on the timeline of coming into her own King of Pentacles inside of herself, which, as she does that, is going to invite this energy to come towards her. Now, our High Priestess girl is in reverse. So the reversal is interesting because it is clarifying the Tower. So she is thinking that she's worried. There's a not trusting of her intuition that's going on in her headspace. And she's wondering, is she ignoring the Tower moments that this King of Pentacles has caused by moving so slowly? Is she going against her own intuition that she really not hold out for this specific masculine because of how often there have been these Tower moments between them? So this is one of her fears we're seeing in their headspace. Usually the headspace is doing a really good job of countering fears in the heart space for divine feminine. But today we're actually seeing her a little bit more in her masculine energy, a little bit that we've got that overthinking, that being analytical. And this is the thing she's being analytical about. Am I really trusting my inner voice, or am I just putting this on my dream, like overlaying this reality of what my dream is and really not trusting myself? So she's wanting to shift more into her High Priestess energy and trust her intuition, and trust that her intuition telling her to wait is the correct thing. She's like questioning this. I made this choice, but is this the right choice? I don't know. I want it to be. I don't know. So there's the little bit of that going on. Also, releasing High Priestess energy is getting grounded more, which we're seeing in that Four of Cups energy too. So it's you know, when you're all in the spiritual and you're all focused in the 5D, you're not here. You're kind of just, I think Grace Strega said on Sunday in our live collaborative reading, the high priestess has this like ability to just kind of float away. You know, she's not super grounded, right? So there is probably also this wanting to get grounded, wanting to be here in the 3D. And I'm saying that because the next card up is this Queen of Swords. So she's back. Now, Divine Masculine was seeing her all over the place yesterday. I'll be curious to see if she's still over there on his side of the reading. But Divine Feminine is here today. But don't despair, Divine Masculine, because it's clarifying this Two of Swords in reverse, which is not being defensive, not, you know, bringing out the shadow traits of the Queen of Swords, but instead using her intellect and just really kind of thinking about this choice that she's made to wait for this Divine Masculine and assessing whether or not this choice is truly in alignment with her intuition. And that's that work she's doing. Next card up we have is the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And I think what we have here is she's wanted to be collaborating and doing this teamwork and rebuilding the tower with this King of Pentacles. And obviously there's still a separation here. So while there's union in the 5D, that sacred union, that sacred marriage that is taking place in the 5D energetically, she's not seeing it in the 3D. It's not arrived in 3D, right? So this Three of Pentacles, this reality is still not here. And that's why she is using her Queen of Swords energy and kind of questioning whether or not she's doing the best, trusting her intuition really to make this choice and to wait. But her conclusion that she's making about this is, yes, it's not here in the 3D, and I really do desire this collaboration with Divine Masculine. Am I making the correct choice? The final card is this Devil energy in reverse, which is this coming to the conclusion of this is not codependent. This is not an obsession. This is not an addiction anymore. I have released this Devil energy, and so I can trust my intuition because this is no longer driving the, it's no longer got the wheel. The chariot is not being driven by devil energy, ego energy anymore. I have released that. So that's what's going on in her head. That's why she's feeling, she's got 8 cards instead of 6. She's feeling a bit of imbalance in terms of her thinking, overthinking. Her heart space, though, is balanced. So let's take a look at her heart. At the top of the deck for the heart space, overall feeling, Ace of Wands. So it is in reverse because that heart's desire hasn't yet manifested, and she's feeling it. She's feeling the closeness and yet the farness. Like she's like, it's so close, but it's also not here. She is also really working not to be so attached, right? Not so attached to this heart's desire, to have that passion and have that spark and have that positive energy, but not reactionary energy that's like reacting against it's not being here. She's trying to hold her vision lightly, not hold it, not grasp it, because when we're grasping it, like in that Four of Pentacles energy, it gets away from us then. You know, there's nothing worse than somebody that's being clingy. When someone's being clingy, it's just like, ugh, like, no, please, we don't want that. It's the same with the universe. If you're clinging to this thing that you want, the universe is like, ugh, not about that. Like, stop clinging to that. Stop making that seem like it's the most important thing, like it's going to complete you. As soon as you can understand that you are whole in and of yourself without this thing, then I can give it to you. Because if I give it to you when you think that this is your everything, you're going to be disappointed. And you didn't ask me for disappointed. You asked me for spiritual fulfillment. And I can't give you spiritual fulfillment if you think the material manifestation is that fulfillment. So she's really working on those beliefs. And she's also kind of holding out like that same energy in her headspace because she feels that this Ace of Wands is here. I mean, it didn't have to come out of the deck, right? We say that. It doesn't have to come out. It chose to come out because it's here. It's just right there, like within her grasp. The Bottom of the deck, the niggling feeling in her heart space is Six of Pentacles in reverse. So the reason why this is not quite here yet is because there is not obvious reciprocity at this time. She is not experiencing from divine masculine an equal give and take. She is not experiencing generosity. There might also be a sense that she's not being generous and benevolent enough with herself, because if divine masculine isn't being generous with her and isn't giving as much as she's putting in, then what does that mean? Divine masculine is you. So in your own self, there's not reciprocity. I can tell you that because you've got overthinking and overfeeling. So you're not in an even keel. You're not quite balanced yet in head and heart. And there needs to be that reciprocity there in order for the union to happen. So that's the niggling feeling. I'm not balanced in my give and take, in my ability to receive. I can give and I can give and I can give and I can give, but can I receive? It looks like not quite, right? Because this Ace of Wands is in reverse. So it's like you're not quite ready to receive your heart's desire. But that's okay. That's what you're here for. That's this process, getting into this balance and figuring out how you can get into this space. Okay. You know what? I think I flipped the cards. I don't know. We're just going to read them like this. They might have been like this, and I put them like this. So I guess we'll read reversals, and we'll just take it back and forth here. The first card up we have is the Seven of Wands. Now, this kept coming out. Last night, I kept pulling cards for my own. I had a really strange experience yesterday of checking my credit report and finding my debt is wiped out, and I don't know how. And that's obviously a really interesting experience to have. And I don't know exactly what has happened. And like my credit score is great. And this is not a small amount of debt. So I don't know what happened. And like, I'm just sort of in this strange space. And I kept reading for myself last night, being like, what happened? How did this happen? And the Seven of Wands kept coming out, and it came out upright and it came out in reverse. So I think it's funny that I was like, I don't know if this is upright or reverse. When it's upright, it's about standing your ground, holding your vision, standing your ground against opposing forces. It can be about being defensive, but it's really about being solo, right? Doing something on your own, being able to stand up against these other actions. It can be about fighting off your own behaviors, etc. In its reversal, it's about no longer having to do that, no longer having to stand that ground and having to fight off those forces. It's like having come into a place where you're no longer fighting. It's like thinking you're in the red and finding out you're in the black, right? Wait, but I had all the, but I don't have to do that anymore, right? It's an interesting energy because it's kind of a startling energy where you're like, wait, I was just fighting all of this, but I don't have to fight anymore. And there's a relief that comes from there too, and sort of like almost you can't even believe it, right? Like it just seems unbelievable to you because you've been fighting for so long. So she's got that energy going on. The next card up, the Lovers. Now, this card in this position is in its reversal. So it's got that, oh, and also I should clarify that this Seven of Wands in reverse is against this on this King of Pentacles. So it's also, she's not having to fight off actions. She's not having to fight off Knight of Wands actions. She's not in a fight. She's not in a battle any longer with this Pentacles energy, which is very applicable to my situation. She's no longer fighting against herself, that divine masculine part of self, or the divine masculine in his 3D manifestation. Now, the Lovers in its reversal is clarifying this Tower card in her headspace. Now, again, these cards were upright and in the reverse. So she's shifting back and forth here in her energy. She's in this state of disbelief. So she's really trying to like figure out exactly how to navigate now. And she feels that sacred union in the 3D or in the 5D, but she doesn't yet feel it in the 3D. And she understands that as this tower is rebuilt, it shifts this energy of the Lovers into this upright position, and their reunion can take place. So as the tower is rebuilt, so too then the Lovers shall come back together. Now, upright, we have the Emperor, and he is clarifying her Two of Swords in reverse. So she is not opposing this Emperor. She is not opposing his rigidity, his tendency towards dictatorial control. She's actually just allowing it at the moment. In the past, we can shift these cards, she's been very oppositional in return to this Emperor's machinations, just sort of like, why do you get to decide? Why do you get to control? But she has chosen to allow this Emperor to rule her heart right now. And she feels that Divine Masculine is fully in his power and has this foundation and is ready to come forward towards her to bring about the lovers. This Five of Wands in reverse, this is clarifying this Knight of Pentacles energy. So 5 of Wands in reverse, no longer feeling like you're stuck, no longer feeling this blockage. However, if it's upright, what is the blockage? Your failure to see that offer, the focus on how long the Knight of Pentacles is taking, but she's no longer fighting that. She's no longer fighting this. She's no longer focused. Oh, it's taking so long, which of course makes it take so long. She has stopped doing that. Oh my God. All right. This card, the High Priestess card in reverse right now, is being clarified by the Ten of Cups in reverse. And so her questioning her intuition, her heart is saying, stop questioning that intuition. Trust your intuition. You have made the right choice, Divine Feminine. This is the Emperor. This is the Emperor that is on that card about you choosing this Emperor, choosing to allow this Emperor to come in. And you are absolutely going to experience this spiritual fulfillment as you trust in this High Priestess energy, as you trust in your intuition. So do not question it. Trusting, shifting into that High Priestess energy and trusting, this is what brings about your spiritual fulfillment. And I'm going to leave these shifted upright so that we can have that emphasized in your head and heart. Trust in your intuition. That will bring your spiritual fulfillment. And finally, the Eight of Wands, momentum, motion, right? And this is upright. And this is what's clarifying this Queen of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and Devil energy. The messages that she's seeking to finally have this Queen of Swords energy really satisfied, to satisfy her intellect, to explain what has gone on, what is going on, right? To explain this, she is going to receive these messages. And that Knight of Pentacles energy that she's been dealing with, that's been very slow and steady, it's picking up speed now. And the messages that she's longed for are coming. That moving out of that Seven of Wands energy where she's fighting off all of these feelings and anxieties and actions, fighting herself, fighting Divine Masculine, that is over. We're moving now into a place where we can receive these messages. And if you want to shift it this way, as long as she remains in her Devil energy, as long as she is focused on this material 3D manifestation and in the shadow traits of this Queen of Swords, the messages cannot come. But I picked up the deck and shifted it, and this is the way that this looks now. So it is clarifying that if she stays in those light traits, that her intellect will be satisfied by the messages that she will be receiving in regards to this 3D manifestation as she has released that Devil energy. Okay, let's take a look at Divine Masculine. I cannot shake this nervous energy. It's very strange. God damn it. All right, the top of the deck, the overall headspace for Divine Masculine is the Wheel of Fortune. So Divine Masculine, if you're thinking about making a move, luck is with you. Right now, you have all of the luck. You have a great fortune. This wheel has turned and shifted you, and your destiny is forefront of your mind. You feel there is this fated fulfillment about to take place, and you're thinking about how lucky you are in the divine feminine that you have manifested, and how lucky you are to be able to still be able to move towards her. And you're thinking of this good fortune that you have been able to manifest for the both of you. Not too bad. The niggling thing in the back of your mind, I don't hate that either. It's Our Lady Justice. She's back again. You know that justice is going to be done, that justice is going to happen for you and for this union. You are feeling like you have that good fortune right now, that you could come in and bring this justice and finally do justice to this union. First thing on your mind, you're releasing these fears. You are not holding on to these fears and anxieties. You are not allowing them to take over your mind. You are not doing any overthinking, Divine Masculine. You have a lot of balance actually right now in your head and heart. So I can see that you're really releasing these fears. And we're going to see what you're releasing these fears about shortly. But you're definitely not up at night worrying, tossing and turning, letting yourself ruminate over these feelings and trying to control all of your thoughts and failing. You're definitely releasing these fears. And you have done that because you surrendered. And now you are coming out of this hanged man energy. You're no longer in this pause of the hanged man. You have gained perspective. You surrendered, you gained perspective, and you can stand on your own. You don't need to rely anymore on this energy of the pause and waiting to get this guidance. You know what you want to do. Here is Divine Feminine. She is this Nine of Pentacles. She's single, she's independent, she's fabulous, she has all the pentacles that she needs. And the only reason we're seeing this in its reversal is because you are releasing the tendency towards self-indulgence. You are releasing your fears and anxieties about being too self-indulgent, and you are releasing the material attachment to the physical manifestation of the Divine Feminine, which is exactly what Divine Feminine had to do with you. Your King of Pentacles energy in its reverse has the same implications. You want it, but you understand that if you want it and grasp it and long for it and feel that it is the only thing that will fulfill you, it will never fulfill you. And you've really done this work. And that is what you have learned and gained this perspective about in this Hanged Man energy. You have also, here's this Nine of Cups. You have the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, and you got even more in your headspace. I think that you have a very good chance of being able to come in and bring this reunion into being. And that's why Divine Feminine is feeling that imminent arrival of you. This Nine of Cups in reverse is clarifying this. So that's why I said you've released your anxieties and fears and worries about the fulfillment of your wish. You know that whenever you get the Nine of Cups in a spread, whether it's upright or in reverse, it does mean you will get your wish. And the only reason we're seeing it in its reversal is so that we can have that clarification that this is what you are no longer worried about. You do feel you are going to get your wish. You're also really working hard on releasing any energy, any of the shadow from this card of being greedy, hoarding emotions and feelings. You are ready to express what's in these cups and have your spiritual fulfillment. The Hanged Man energy in reverse has helped you gain perspective on your reluctance to really allow yourself to be innocent in this Page of Cups energy. You have chafed against this energy for some time, feeling like it's underdeveloped, awkward. You don't love this aspect of yourself, even though Divine Feminine truly does love it. You're like, not as into it. But your perspective has shown you that it's this purity, this love, this true love that exists that is really integral to your spiritual fulfillment, and that you must embrace this energy in yourself and embrace this energy. You totally embrace this energy from Divine Feminine. We saw Page of Cups yesterday. It was in the Cosmic Tarot deck that I use for your heart space. It was upright, and it was your Divine Feminine looking so lovely, innocent, pure. So we really already saw this for you, that you embrace her this way. But you are learning, as you are learning to stand on your own, gaining that perspective, you are learning to embrace this trait about yourself. You are also just not wanting to be awkward about how you express what's in this cup. You want to be more of a Knight of Cups in your ability to express to Divine Feminine without, this sort of like stuttering, halting, kind of immature delivery. So that's why we're seeing that card in its reversal. Now, just like I said with Divine Feminine, we don't have to see a cup. We don't have to see cards. They don't have to come out. So when they come out, it means that they are here, even if they're in their reversal. And what is here? Your spiritual fulfillment, your 10 of Cups. And here it is for Divine Feminine. So you are in union about your spiritual fulfillment with one another, which couldn't possibly be better. That's amazing. Now, her energy came out also, remember, in its reverse, because she needed to trust her intuition that she was making the right choice to have her spiritual fulfillment. So you all are in complete union on this spiritual fulfillment. But what you are seeing this reversal in your headspace for is because you are understanding that perspective gained in Hanged Man energy. For as long as you were attached to this specific manifestation, as long as you believed that this 3D manifestation of Divine Feminine was your spiritual fulfillment, that has blocked your spiritual fulfillment. And as you have released this idea that she is your reward, your spiritual fulfillment is now becoming something that you can shift into. And so just like I did for Divine Feminine, shifting her energy into that 10 of Cups upright, I'm doing the same thing for you. Because as you've released this attachment, you also are achieving this 10 of Cups. All right. Let's look at your heart. Top of the deck for your heart space. Overall energy, 8 of Swords in reverse. And it's this gorgeous imagery from the Cosmic Tarot, which instead of this single individual Divine Feminine that's bound very loosely with a blindfold, we see the divine couple unable to see each other. They are deliberately turned away from one another, and all they would need to do was turn around and see each other, and they would no longer be protecting themselves from one another. They would no longer be sabotaging this connection. And that is indeed what your heart space is telling you right now. You have this feeling that you have turned around. You can see Divine Feminine. You are no longer sabotaging this union because of the niggling feeling in your heart. A full, overflowing Ace of Cups. You have done this work to fill this cup. And now what you have is complete ability to bring it and share from the overflow with Divine Feminine. There's no more poison in this cup. That's been poured out. You have filled it up with self-love and appreciation. And that is what's going to finally allow you to come in. You have stopped sabotaging this connection and yourself and filled up this cup. Now, let's look at the rest of your heart space. First card up. Prince of Wands, aka Knight of Wands in OG Smith-Waite imagery. And what do we know about the Knight of Wands? Impulsive, passionate, swift-moving, not a whole lot of consistency there, but really, really passionate, really impulsive, wants to throw caution to the wind, wants to come in as quickly as possible. And that is clarifying this 9 of Swords in reverse in your headspace. So we're looking at a Knight of Wands energy in its light traits in your heart, because your head has released your anxieties about this. You have integrated this aspect to yourself. You've admitted, hey, I'm impulsive. I'm passionate. It's part of my energy. Maybe I've got some fire sign in there somewhere in my chart, sun, moon, or rising, or my Venus. Like, I'm impulsive, but I'm going to embrace the positive light traits of this Knight And I'm going to use that to my benefit. Instead of looking at this as a self-sabotaging behavior, my heart has finally learned, I've gained this perspective, and my heart has finally learned that self-sabotage is about self-protection, and that I can only have to take this trait that I was using to protect myself and turn it around and make it work for me. So the negative side of this energy is that I used to come in, be very sexual, be very passionate, be very, inspired and just following that spark, reckless, not having a plan, and cause a tower moment. But I now have other things in order so that I know that I have this consistency and I can bring consistency in, and I don't have to come in with this Knight of Wands energy anymore and hurt Divine Feminine. However, I can throw caution to the wind and come in with a solid offer, because now my fortune has shifted and I have the ability to bring justice. So when I come in my Knight of Wands energy now, look out, Divine Feminine, look out. Would you like to see some more union? I know I would. Here we have Seven of Wands in reverse. We have two individuals, two twins, no longer fighting against themselves, no longer fighting each other, surrendering that what they were fighting against was pretty much an illusion. It was self-imposed obstacles. It was actions that they were taking against themselves. It was about beliefs that they had about how stuck they were, their blockages, things that they had actually kind of just made up, so to speak, so that they could honestly do the healing that they needed to do. But they're no longer needing to be in the Seven of Wands energy anymore. And Divine Masculine understands that because he did that work of surrendering to the Hanged Man energy. And he gained this perspective that what he was fighting against really was himself. Because when he's fighting against Divine Feminine, he's fighting against himself. And he's not willing to do that anymore. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this can be a card about impatience, but in this position, it is not. Because it's clarifying the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, which we knew was about him releasing that material attachment to a specific manifestation of the Divine Feminine, which allows him to have the Divine Feminine of his dreams. And he's able to do this now because the seeds he has planted are finally bearing their fruit. He is finally able to approach Divine Feminine with this offer, with this fortune. He's very excited about that. He is feeling the impatience, I think. That's why that Knight of Wands energy is there. He's just feeling impatient to share with her that everything is ready. But he's got this plan, and he's moving towards her with this plan. He wants to follow through because he's really prepared something special. Next card up, Five of Cups. But it's not about pessimism today. It is about complete optimism. Remember that we saw that Nine of Swords in his headspace, clarifying that he is no longer afraid he can't achieve his wish fulfillment? Well, that's still true. And on top of that, it's because of his optimism. He has chosen to not focus on what he doesn't want. He's chosen to focus only on what he wants. And when he was focusing on the past and those spilled cups and the sadness that he caused and the sadness that he felt losing all this time, because I think there's a big feeling in him where he's like, Jesus, I have lost all this time. I had all this time. I could have figured this shit out sooner. I could have done something sooner. I could have, woulda, shoulda, right? That energy, which was keeping him really stuck, he is fully releasing. He is not doing that anymore. And the next thing up is the Chariot. So we have the Eight of Wands for Divine Feminine, feeling that momentum, feeling that fast moving motion. We have the Knight of Wands, which is swift, fast motion. And we have the Chariot, which is motion forward. So finally, after having surrendered to that hanged man energy and stopped fighting himself, he has allowed the divine to take the Chariot. He has surrendered his ego, and the two aspects of self are balancing and coming into union. And this is the card that is clarifying this Page of Cups energy, so that pure, true love This is what really has propelled him forward. And he is now in a position where he is wanting to move and shift that energy from that Page of Cups into that Knight of Cups so he can bring that cup to Divine Feminine. Because remember, it's completely full and it's overflowing and it's ready for her. She has only to receive it. And here she is, the 3D manifestation of the Queen of Pentacles. And she's in reverse for all of the reasons that our Divine Feminine's King of Pentacles was in reverse. But here they are together, this matched pair, and they're both looking pretty good. This one's got something up his sleeve. This one is waiting patiently on her throne. She's approachable. She's ready. She has a solid foundation. The reversal is about released the attachment to the specific manifestation. And once you have done this release work, I guarantee you, you will be able to actually allow for a physical manifestation. As long as you have been clinging to this one person and thinking, oh, once I have this person, then I'll feel insert whatever it is here. You have been blocking yourself, because that is not how it works. It works exactly the opposite. You must feel you have insert specific thing here before you can manifest this desire that you have. And they have both learned this. And because of this, they get to have this. Now, this Queen of Pentacles card in reverse was clarifying that 10 of Cups. Remember, I shifted this 10 of Cups upright because he realized that as he released this attachment to his Divine Feminine, he gets that Divine Feminine. Well, I'm going to do the same thing with the Queen. She's not in reverse anymore. She is not his spiritual fulfillment. She is not. But his spiritual fulfillment guarantees that he can have her. And that's why we're seeing it this way today. Wow. This was a friggin' great reading. Let's look at the oracles and see how we can just finalize this union. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. All right, let's take a look. Divine Feminine oracles. These are the messages from Spirit that should help her balance this overthinking energy she's got. Because remember, Divine Masculine's balanced. Head and heart right now, balanced. Head and heart right now, working together. We had fears, worries, anxieties countered in head and heart space very evenly. There really wasn't a lot of fear and anxiety in Divine Masculine today. He kind of let it go. Divine Feminine also did not have a lot of fear. She had overthinking because she was just second guessing herself. So her heart already assured her that she was second guessing herself, and that her spiritual fulfillment comes from trusting her intuition and releasing that urge to second guess herself, right? So her heart is already doing this work of countering her headspace fear. But we want to get that headspace more balanced because we've had 2 days of overthinking and overfeeling. Now her heart is a little more balanced. Let's get her head in that place too. Divine Feminine, you're in the light attributes of the rescuer, which is provide strength and support to others in crisis and acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So you are no longer assuming that the rescued will reciprocate and keeping the rescued one needy. So you've moved out of that devil energy where you have been in codependent behavior, and you are now just doing things out of love. You don't expect your Divine Masculine to return exactly, quid pro quo, every single feeling or thought or idea you've ever had about him. You're really moving into a place where you're releasing that energy and really just giving because it feels good to give, providing strength and support to others who are in crisis. So you're doing a great job of maintaining that energy. Okay. You're in this, it's another card that I'm noticing. You're in the shadow traits, though, of the alchemist, which you need to call in the light for. Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So you're still working on your base motive, right? The base motive, the physical attachment, the physical union, the physical desire, right? You have to transform that into this golden wisdom, where it's not about that fulfillment of that physical experience. Listen, you want it. It's been a long time. I get it. But you have to understand that what you are doing is not about this physical reality. It is about the expansion of your souls. The expansion of your souls, which allows for the expansion of material reality to take place. That has to be your motivation. So shift into that place where getting it on with divine masculine is a bigger scheme. It's a larger, grander scheme, a bigger picture. Your guardian angel is here, and this is the energy of retreat, and there is a reversal on it. And I think that has to do with that Queen of Swords energy and that Two of Swords energy, which your head was even calling you to come out of a retreat. If you have retreated from divine masculine, or if you have retreated from the world, it's time to come back to the world. It's time to come back to the table, to express to divine masculine, to encourage him, to be in that energy where you are giving without an expectation of reward. So come out of your retreat, divine feminine. You're still in this pause energy of reflect and contemplate and meditate and contemplate, which was your niggling thought in the back of your mind. So you're saying, well, how do I come out of retreat and also pause? This is pause and reflect about what it is that you intend to express before you express it. That's all that card is about. It's not about anything except for being reflective, taking a moment, taking a breath, not going into your reactive energy of your shadow traits of the Queen of Swords or the shadow traits of the Queen of Wands and being too emotionally reactive or too cold. Really reflect and also enjoy the relaxation that a pause gives you. You know, just take a moment and really enjoy that. We're getting this card again. What if Source were standing in my physical shoes? It is not your job to make something happen. Your work is to simply determine what you want. If we were standing in your physical shoes, our attention would be upon bringing ourselves into alignment with the desires and preferences that we have launched. We would consciously feel our way into alignment. So, again, divine feminine, it is not your job to make this happen. Your only job is to determine what it is exactly that you want, what it is that encompasses this Ace of Wands. Transform your base motives into the golden ones. Get to the essence of what you want. You know, you say, well, I want a partner. Okay. That's all you want? You just want a partner? No, you don't just want a partner. If you just wanted a partner, you take any partner, but that's not what you want. There's something else. You need to get to the essence of it, because the essence of your desire is where that golden wisdom is. The why, answering the why, not having to worry your pretty little head about how, but why. Why do you want a partner? Why do you want your counterpart? Why do you want your twin flame? Sometimes people choose not to go with their twin flame because it's very tumultuous. It's a very challenging relationship, because it is one with self. It is one where you have to learn to completely love self and accept self and see it through the eyes of Source. And that's not easy or comfortable. So why do you want that? What is the essence of that? When you can start to answer those questions for yourself, that's when you're really going to start to see yourself get closer and closer and closer to your desire, because your desire lies in the why. And the culmination of the desire does not come from knowing how. Divine takes care of how. So simply determine what you want and then consciously feel your way there. And how do you do that? Do you feel good when you're thinking about it? Keep thinking about it. Do you feel bad when you're thinking about it? Distract yourself. That's how you consciously align. That is it. Hang in there, because prosperity lies ahead. Divine Masculine got this yesterday. It's your turn. Trust that your prosperity lies ahead. I have a whole new view on my prosperity that I've never had before. So trust. Miracles can take place. Miracles can happen. Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. So you are integrating your shadow traits. You are integrating with the divine masculine. That sacred marriage has taken place in the twin flame union. In the 5D, there has been a sacred marriage, and that is coming down now and grounding into physical union. That's why we saw the King and Queen of Pentacles on opposite sides today. We see the divine couple coming down and grounding here in the material. Align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? What is out of alignment, divine feminine? Well, you weren't quite trusting your intuition yet. You're second guessing yourself. So push these pieces together. Align this out of alignment by thinking the better feeling thought, answering that question of why instead of how. That is going to help you start to align. All right, divine masculine, what can you do, sir? All right. You are in the light attributes of the hero, which is a passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So you are ascending. You also are ascending. Look at this couple. They're going to ascend and they're going to integrate. You have left behind escapism and a false sense of heroism. And you have a passion now for this journey of personal empowerment, which is really making you heroic. You're getting the queen energy and it's in its shadow attributes. So you're needing to release becoming arrogant when your authority is challenged, ... being controlling and demanding. And you need to call in the light of the queen, which is radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect. So you want to be using benevolent authority, right? Not being controlling and demanding, not demanding a specific reaction from divine feminine, but just allowing divine feminine to be who she is and just do your protecting with benevolent authority, but not dictatorial control, right? Release those shadow traits. And radiating that regal feminine, you know who she is, that Queen of Pentacles. Really get into that in your heart space. Start to integrate with that energy. The Wheel of Fortune came out, as did this guardian angel, to help you with these blessings of abundance. So you've received good fortune. You might have received really good news. You might just be at the point where you're ready to share this really good news. But your guardian angel is here to support you with these blessings of abundance. So you will be managing them well. You'll be sharing them. You won't be hoarding them in that Nine of Cups in reverse energy. You'll experience these blessings and you'll be able to truly enjoy them. Saint Agnes of Rome is here and she's emphasizing this. Don't compromise. Don't compromise your ideals. Don't compromise your self. Don't compromise this relationship. Don't compromise and lose what it is that is at the essence of this union. And she's here to protect you and help you do this. But she's telling you, do not do anything to compromise yourself or this union at this time. You got this card again. Every reality has been focused by someone into being. You were taught to face reality before you knew you were creating reality. Do not face reality unless it is a reality you want to create. For any reality only exists because someone has focused it into being. Those statistics about your experiences and others are not about any hard and fast now reality. So reject reality. Do not face it unless it's a reality you want to create. So if you think to yourself, well, I've done too much damage, I'm too old, I'm too whatever, I'm too young, I'm too whatever it is to be able to be in this kind of a union or to be good enough for this kind of a union, do not face that reality unless that's the one you want to create. If you want to create a different reality, then don't put a lot of detail in those thoughts, feelings, statistics that come from outside of self. That's someone else's reality, not yours. You and your loved ones are safe. You are completely safe at this time. Trust, that was emphasized. You are absolutely safe. You don't have to be afraid. Also, that was Cancer energy. Protection, call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. Here's another card emphasizing that you are safe. So you are protected. You can cut cords and call back your power from anyone who is trying to take your power from you. You are safe. They cannot do anything to hurt you. You are divinely protected. There is no earthly power no earthly power that could possibly take you down. And then finally, this is emphasized, bro, you've been training for this for lifetimes. You are absolutely ready for this. You are absolutely ready. All right, bottom of the deck for the divine couple. Did I get all the cards? Yes. This is the energy. God damn it. This is the energy for both of the partners in this union. You're in the shadow attributes right now of the thief, which is stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. And I'm focused on what you think you lack. And I'm called to focus on lack mentality that you might still have in regards to each other, and calling in the light, which is sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen, right? So just really trusting that what you have gained and coming together can never be stolen from you. Divine masculine can't do something to cause a separation and then steal your heart. Divine feminine can't do something to cause a separation and steal your heart, because what you have gained in this journey is that the union, that sacred union, is inside of self. And no human, no physical manifestation can take that from you. So you really need to trust in that energy, that neither one of you is going to lose anything from this connection. You aren't gaining something from the other that you don't already have. There's no lack here. You have everything you need, both of you. And so if one goes their separate ways, nothing is stolen. So you really need to have faith in that. This is the card I said, God damn it, about. Saint Nicholas of Myrna is here. I don't like timing cards. If you watch me, you know that I do not like timing cards very much. And I am starting to embrace this card a little bit because it has come out so freaking much this month, and definitely has a feeling of this timing associated with it. So I'm going to embrace it, and I'm not going to chafe against it. And I'm going to embrace its true meaning, which is generosity, being generous with one another, giving gifts to one another, being in the spirit of this season, which is that rescuer energy, and it's upright, which is giving without any expectation of return, being supported here. And maybe, write a letter to Santa Claus asking what it is that you want, because I think you're going to get it. I am in the perfect position to get there from here. Divine couple, nothing has to change in your environment or in your circumstances that surround you for you to begin to deliberately allow your own connection to the stream of well-being. You are in the perfect place right now to begin. There's that Wheel of Fortune. There's destiny. This is the perfect time. So you just got a message from the divine that said, now is the time. You're in the perfect position to come together. Confidence is your key to success, divine couple. Be confident that you will see the culmination of this reunion. Be confident that you will see each other. Good morning, Sin. Be confident. And then finally, emphasized, you go first. Leap. The universe will catch you. The universe will catch you. Trust, believe, have faith that you can do this together. You can unite inside of self. You can unite that divine masculine and divine feminine energy. You can listen to divine masculine and implement his strategies and accept his rule. You can listen to divine feminine and trust in her intuition and allow that to guide your strategies and accept her rule from the heart space. As you accept these feelings from your heart space, as you accept and allow those to guide the thoughts in your head space, that is what creates your reality. You hear it all the time. You saw The Secret or whatever at some point in time. Maybe you listened to Abraham Hicks. Maybe you just listened to someone else's beliefs about the law of attraction. You definitely see these posts in your social media feed. You're constantly seeing it, but you must really come to understand it. When I read for myself and you, what I am reading is energy. This energy tells me that this union is possible inside of myself, and anything that can occur inside, within, can occur outside. As above, so below. And only that. Only that. There's no other way. You must do this. You'll ask, well, what about people who have a lot that they want, but they don't have any kind of spiritual practices at all? Like, how are they doing it? They are doing it unconsciously. Those individuals have inherited or absorbed some kind of a balance within them where they are open to receiving in such a way, and they do that unconsciously. They don't even have to think about it. That's true for some people. For others, it's more of a struggle. You asked for the challenges when you came here. You wanted your journey to go a specific way. You think you didn't, but you did. And the forgetting and the remembering is all a part of being human and figuring this all out. This is today's reading. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, click notifications, follow my Instagram account. It looks like justice is coming. And the moment justice comes, I'm going to be shuffling that deck, finding a new major arcana card, and then I will ask you what songs that you listen to from your streaming services do you think embody whatever card is next. When you tell me what those songs are, I make a playlist and then I shuffle from it. You can win a free personal reading. If you would like a personal reading, email me, tunedintarot@gmail.com. If you would like voice, piano lessons, or nutritional counseling, I do all of those things. If you just need a boost and you don't want to do any financial exchange, that is fine. Hop into my email and just say, hey, I just need a boost, or I need perspective, or whatever. There is no financial limitations to the counseling I provide. I do need to make a living, but that is not why I do this. I do other things to make a living too. So if you need me, hit me up. Follow me on all the things. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate every single one of my subscribers. My subscriptions just took a big leap, and I think that's a good sign. The message is getting out to the people who need to hear it. I am one of them. I'm going to go play this back and be like, oh my God, because that's what usually happens when I hear them, because I'm not even really here when this is happening. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a lovely day today.